Hey there, thanks for joining me today. This is Laura Lynn with KeepInkingUp.com. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! In San Antonio, Texas. And today I want to share two techniques that I use to create this really pretty and shimmery Christmas card using the beautiful Baubles bundle found on page 10 of the 2018 holiday catalog, which went live yesterday. I'm so excited y'all can now order from this catalog. It seems like forever for this to come out. So anyway, this is a wonderful catalog full of amazing products, and I'm so glad that you can finally order from it. And I think that you will want to have this beautiful Baubles bundle. But before we begin the techniques, I do want to clarify something about the bundles. One of the great things about these bundles is that there's one item number for 2 and sometimes 3 items in a bundle. And that makes ordering just a little bit easier. Just have to input one number. But the best part about bundles is the 10% savings price over ordering them individually. But something that you may not realize is that this bundle price is only available when the bundle is first introduced. Once the catalog expires, so does that bundle price, even if these items carry over to the next catalogs. So if you like this bundle, make sure you order it before the catalog ends on January 2nd, 2019. And this is true for all bundles. So if you like any of the bundles in the annual catalog, make sure you order those before that catalog ends on June 3rd, 2019. Oh, and here's my envelope that goes with the card that is using another stamp from that stamp set. Okay, so let's begin with techniques for this card. I don't know if you can tell, but my image is embossed, and it looks like it's embossed in Night of Navy, but we don't have Night of Navy embossing powder. So my first technique is to show you how you can emboss with any ink color that you happen to have in your ink collection. And the key to doing that is using our Stamparatus. Actually, you can use any stamp positioning tool. I just happen to prefer the Stamparatus. I do own a Misty and a Stamp-A-Majig, and either one of those stamp positioning tools will work just fine, as well as any other stamp positioning tools that are on the market, so you can use this technique with any of those. I just happen to prefer the Stamparatus. I can do a ton more techniques, and I'll share those in future videos. So anyway, I have my Stamparatus out, and since this is a photopolymer stamp set, I do need to have my black foam mat that comes with the Stamparatus. But you'll notice that when I put the foam mat down, I can no longer see my grid below, and that kind of bothered me. I like using the grid. So what I did is I laminated a piece of my grid paper on a piece of magnetic sheet using my Xyron machine, so now I have a grid again. You have to make sure you cut it really precisely so it'll fit inside and actually be a useful grid. So I'm going to add that in there, and then I'm going to place my piece of cardstock in the corner of my Stamp-A-Majig, and I'm going to secure it down with one of the bar magnets that comes with the Stamparatus. It actually comes with 2, and they store on the back. And you'll notice that I have wrapped my bar magnets with a piece of duct tape. And that is because these bar magnets are super, super strong. And should they come in contact with each other, if they jump together and hit each other, when they do hit each other, they might shatter and break. So I put the duct tape to try to hold the magnets together should that happen. Personally, I tend to use just one magnet at a time, like I'm going to use today. But that was just kind of a prevention thing. But it also gave me a little bit of a handle so I can maneuver my magnet around a little easier than without it. Before, I was trying to lift it up with my fingers, and sometimes that was frustrating. So having this little handle really, really helps me out. So like I said, I've slid in my paper into the corner of the Stamparatus. I've secured it down with my magnet. And before I start, I am going to prep my surface with my Stamp Buddy, or my Embossing Buddy. I always forget, so I'm trying to get into the habit of putting that on. It's very important. It'll help later on with the embossing. And I'm going to ink my image using my Night of Navy ink pad. So I'm going to open that up, slide that in. I'll ink up my image nice and evenly. That looks pretty good. Don't worry about the extra ink on the side. That's not going to be a problem. And then I'm going to shift that over and press down and stamp my image. Oh, it didn't do a very good job, so I need to press a little harder on this side. Now that looks pretty good. Okay, now I need to clean my stamp, and I'm going to use my stamp Shammy So I'm going to wipe the stamp and my plate. Get that nice and clean. Squeaky clean, as you can hear. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and close up my ink pad before I get ink where I don't want it. And now I'm ready to ink again with VersaMark. And VersaMark is a sticky ink, which is perfect for embossing. So I'm going to ink up my image. And since I have not moved my image, nor have I moved my paper, when I stamp it down, it'll go in exactly the same spot. And that's the important part of this technique. So I'm going to press really hard since I didn't get a good job on the last one. Make sure I get it really nice and even. It is nice and sticky. And so now I can sprinkle on with clear embossing powder. I'm Stampin' Up! Clear embossing powder. So I'll sprinkle this over my stamped image. I think that looks good and covered. And now I need to emboss it using my heat tool. Our heat tool has two settings. The first setting is like a dry setting. I want to get that powder out of the way so I don't heat it. The first setting is like a dry setting, and the second one is a heat setting. I'm going to let that heat up for just a couple of seconds. And then I'll bring it to my paper, and it's going to melt that clear embossing powder on top of the blue ink. And it'll look like I have embossed it in blue, Night of Navy blue ink. Isn't that cool? Look at that. That's just like magic. It's so fun every time I do it. So I'm going to go over the entire image. So I'm going to melt all of the powder. I think that looks like it's all melted. So I'll turn that off. Put that to the side. And isn't that wonderful? I just think that's so amazing. So I have a Night of Navy embossed image, even though I don't have Night of Navy embossing powder. So you can do this with absolutely any ink that you have. It does not matter the brand or the color. So you can have an embossed image in any color that you want. I just think that's fabulous. So that is just one more benefit of using the Stamparatus. I'm going to go ahead and clean up my image before I put it aside so I don't forget. I love this stamp Shammy. It's really easy to use, and it's squeaky clean, as you can hear. I'm going to put that aside, and now I'm going to show you the next part of the technique. I want to color in our image using shimmer paints, and our shimmer paints are found on page 38 of the catalog. We have Bright Copper, Champagne Mist, Frost White, and Vegas Gold shimmer paints. We actually carried these shimmer paints several years ago. I remember when we had them, and I was so sad when they were discontinued, and so I was thrilled when I saw them in the new catalog. So I'm going to bring back in my sample. On this sample, I happen to use the Frost White shimmer paint. I don't know if you can see that. But today we're going to use the Champagne Mist shimmer paint, and we're going to see what the difference is. So we'll see which one we like better. But before I get the paints out, I do want to protect my work surface. So I found these, I don't remember what they were called. I got them on Amazon. It's like a paper mat with a plastic backing so it protects my work surface from getting wet. It's kind of like those things that you wear at the dentist, you know, those bibs you wear at the dentist. I don't remember what they're called. If you want me to find out, I will research the name for that for you. I've had these for quite a while. So I'm going to put my paper on top of this just to protect my surface. And I am going to use an acrylic block as my palette, and I need to shake up my paint really well. It is a paint, and we want to distribute this shimmer really well throughout the paint. So I'm going to shake it up really well. And then I'm going to drop a little bit in the middle of my block. I don't want too much. This is a little bit, will go a long way. I'm just going to do a little bit of painting. Okay, I think that's plenty. And I'll put that aside. And then I'm going to pull in some re-inker colors to do my coloring. I have Night of Navy, Tranquil Tide, and Gray Granite. So I'm going to put a drop of each of these colors around my shimmer paint drop. Okay, that one is the Night of Navy. Once I put them on this block, they'll all look the same, so hopefully we can keep them all separate, but this is the Tranquil Tide. And then the Gray Granite. I'll put that down there. Okay, see, they all look exactly the same to me there, but we'll figure it out once we start painting. So I'm using my Aqua Painter. I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze it to get it kind of going. And I'm gonna mix a little bit of the shimmer paint with a little bit of the re-inker. And now you can kind of see how I've got, the more shimmer you put in, the lighter it will be. The more ink you put in, the darker of the color it will be. But I've got a Gray Granite shimmer paint now here on my palette. So now I'm going to go ahead and paint parts of my image. I'm not gonna paint the whole image because I think you'll get the idea. But you're gonna paint that in there, just like you would watercolor or anything like that. I'll bring this up so you can see, hopefully, see the shimmer of that paint, and it has the color of the gray. Now before I wanna go to the next color, I need to clean off my paintbrush. So I'm gonna squeeze my Aqua Painter until it comes out clear. You can tell I've been using my mat for a little bit. I think that looks clear. So now I'm gonna mix, let's see, this is Night of Navy and the shimmer paint. And again, you mix it up however much of each that you want. You want more shimmer, you want more color, whatever you'd like. I think that's a bit dark. I need more shimmer. Excuse me. I need more shimmer there, I think. I think that looks pretty good. So then I'm gonna paint. I'll paint this area right here. And the embossing gives you a little bit of walls to try to help you paint. I went a little bit outside, but that's okay. You get the idea. So now I'm going to rinse off my brush again before I get to the next color, which is the Tranquil Tide. So again, I'll pull in some Tranquil Tide and some shimmer paint and mix that up. I think I want more shimmer. Ooh, I got some blue coming in there. Uh-oh. I think that'll be all right. And I'll paint this part, the Tranquil Tide. It looks like I may have a little bit too much water on my brush. Oh, but look at that shimmer. It's a lot more goldish than the other one, so it's quite a bit different. I'm gonna go ahead and clean off my brush so I don't forget. So it's ready to go next time. Just keep squeezing it until it comes out clear. That looks pretty good. Okay, so here is the shimmer. You can really tell it's a bit different. Where'd my sample go? Here's the Frost White. You can see that's definitely whiter on there. As compared to this is the Champagne Mist shimmer paint, and it has a little bit more of a gold flecks, look more like the Wink of Stella, but you can see the different colors on there. So anyway, I hope you found this video helpful on how to emboss with any ink pad that you have in your collection, as well as just one way to use these new shimmer paints. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you would like to order any products that I used in this video, I would be so happy if you'd order from my online store, and you can find a link to my online store from my blog at keepinkingup.com. I'll also try to add links to the products that I use in the description of this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.